My name is Zara. I'm 24 years old. A few years ago, I found out I was pregnant with my ex-boyfriend now. And things were rocky, things were abusive. He actually had just got incarcerated. And I was alone. I didn't know what to do. I got on Google, started researching, and that's when I found the pregnancy center that's now Adira Clinic. They took me with open arms and they were there to help me. And when I went there, I found out I was pregnant. They confirmed with the ultrasound and the pregnancy test. I also found out later on that day when I went home about another center who decided to help me. They flew me out to Chicago. They paid for my room, the flight. I was afraid and I didn't want the baby to be going through anything that I was going through or anything worse. And I ended up getting an abortion. I didn't want to make this decision, but with no support, I was scared. I was still young at the time, alone. And like I mentioned, the abusive relationship, I didn't know what to do. And I made a decision that I regret. I don't know how to feel about that still to this day. Because of that, I now can say that I don't want to ever make that decision anymore. About 6 months later, after I made that decision, and I came back home and I moved back in with my parents, and I found out I was pregnant again. I didn't know what to do or think, given that I had just made that decision. God gave me another baby. I was still going through the first trauma. And the dad didn't want me to keep him. He wanted me to do the same thing again. He was like, well, you did it already, so why can't you do it this time? And I was like, well, it was a lot. And I was like, I want to do it again. When I did find out I was pregnant this time, I did go back to Adira. I felt like it was a safe space, just from the soft music, the sweet ladies that are just so helpful. I didn't feel alone whenever I went there because of the love that I felt from them. It was genuine. And I told them because they asked, they know what happened the first time. They asked me, how did I feel? I told them I wanted to keep the baby. I'm still going through the trauma from the first time. So they were there with me. They didn't judge me. They were open arms and they took me right on in and was there with me every step of the way still to this day. Because of Adira Clinic, I can proudly say that I was happy with my decision that I went with this go-round with Zeke because they were there with me, like I said, since day one with the support. They gave me strength. Even at the hospital, Miss Becky was there with me. She came and she prayed with me. And she just let me know that I wasn't alone, and I appreciate her for that. Zeke, he is now 1. He looks like he's 3. He's super big. The second I met him, he was just a bundle of joy. He can walk into the room, he just lights up the whole room. I could go to Adira whenever I needed prayer or just anything. They were just there asking me, is there anything that I needed still to this day? And I appreciate them for that because it's truly a blessing for me and Zeke.